What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today we got an exciting unboxing to dig into for you guys. I just pulled this thing out of the mailer. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'd love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it, everyone. Really helps push the videos out there so more people have a chance to check them out. And feel free to let me know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys and what you are carrying. So huge shout out to CJRB for sending this in for us to take a look at. I believe this is a brand new model from CJRB. Or a brand new version of a model, right? So let's take a look. We have their new packaging, of course, and I'm sure many of you remember who have been buying CJRBs for a long time. Remember, they used to come in that old beat up box. Well, they have really stepped up their game, and now they're including stickers in the packaging as well as a microfiber cloth. So that is a massive step up. I would say 2 steps up from the original packaging. And of course we have a cellophane baggie here holding our specific knife, which they are labeling this the CJRB Lite Pyrite, and I'm not sure which blade shape it is. It looks like the Warncliffe. It's a model that I haven't checked out yet. They let me know that it was coming and I said okay, and I didn't have any time at all to do any research, and I wasn't sure. That's why I took it out of the mailer. I wasn't sure which knife was even in there or what was in the packaging, so I wanted to make sure that this is what it was. And sure enough, it was the CJRB. This is going to be their light model, and what they mean by that is instead of coming in steel or wood and steel or G10, not that G10's that heavy, but this is going to be coming in FRN. And I've said it many times, I'm not a huge fan of FRN when we have this wide array of awesome handle materials that we can choose from, you know, aluminum, titanium, micarta, and so on. But there are certain occasions where I'm accepting of FRN. Spyderco does a great job on their FRN, and it seems like this is going to be very well done also. Everything's nicely softened down. We kind of have this bolster look here with this texture pattern on both sides, so it looks really good. We do have blacked out hardware. We have PVD coating on this particular one. I'm sure, knowing CJRB, they have a couple models out right now, and they'll probably have a couple other ones coming up the pipe as well. We have a deep carry clip. Everything has been recessed in there, and it will be reversible as well. Going to be coming in RPM 9. We have that modified sheep's foot, modified Warncliffe style blade. Let's go ahead and see what this thing looks like in the pocket here using our issuing stitches Hank. And this is going to be CJRB's new standard pocket clip here, their deep carry pocket clip. It carries very deep. You won't see much of this knife poking out of the pocket at all. So that is awesome for the people who enjoy a very deep carry, and that has good retention on that pocket clip. I do like the redesigned clip that they have went with. It's very slim. It's fairly minimal. There's not a lot going on with it. It works well. It's ergonomic. So nothing really to complain about with their new pocket clips. Very simple, very subtle, and I like the route that they went with it. And I don't know what the price is. Like I said, I haven't had much time to even look at this knife on the internet. I'm going to guess $50 or so. And, you know, pricing comes into, you know, what is on the knife, what is not on the knife, and what their main goal is. Their main goal is to keep this lightweight. So we're not going to have a backspacer in here. And we don't have a filler tab here. Now, how much would an FRN backspacer and a filler tab add to this? As far as cost and weight, probably not a whole lot. Those are things I really... The backspacer is come and go. You know, it really depends on the model. But I think a filler tab, you know, that little piece of insert there with 2 screws, You know, considering FRN, G10, micarta, steel, aluminum, those types of materials, it would be pennies on the dollar. Even if you charged an extra 50 cents for the knife, or an extra dollar, let's just say. Not that it would cost that much, but let's just say $1. You know, I'd much rather pay an extra dollar and have this completely, it just looks incomplete to me. Now, I've said before many times, because I've harped on this many times, it's not a reason not to buy the knife. It's just, I like to point out what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling while we're shooting the video. And that's just, my eyes are like, man, it looks great, looks great, looks great. And then it's like, oh, it's unfinished. You know, that's just the feeling that I get, or the thoughts that I have. Of course, this looks great. Everything looks clean and finished. I love how they have the CJRB way down out of the way. It's a great looking knife, especially in this FRN color with the all black contrast. I think it looks really good. So, you know, I like to point these types of things out, and I've said it many times. On top of that, it's not a deal breaker. It's not something that ever has stopped me from buying a knife before, knowing that a knife doesn't have a filler tab or whatnot. That's never stopped me. It's not a functional thing. It has nothing to do with the performance of the knife. It just has more to do with the aesthetics of the knife. We are completely centered up there, and as far as the springs in there, guys, they are going to be, if you've ever experienced a CJRB button lock, very good. They do some of, if not the best, budget button locks in the entire game. I have handled every single button lock from CJRB except for any of the mini ones that they've come out with. Like, I think they did a mini Pyrite or a mini mica or something like that, or maybe both. Those two I didn't handle. But every other button lock they have come out with over the last year and a half, 2 years, I have bought or held or handled, and they have all been phenomenal. Very well done. And we are back to telephone book paper, love or hate it. I have a love-hate relationship with it. But in this case, the Pyrite is making easy, quick work of this, and that is a tall tale sign that this has a screaming good edge on it, because even sharp knives have some trouble sometimes with this telephone book paper, because it would rather just rip apart or fall apart than let you cut it. But great indication that this has a good edge on it. And another thing that can be spoken for about CJRB and their button locks is going to be that they are extremely solid when it comes to their button locks and how they lock up. We will check for any movement, and there is none up and down, which is great. And as far as side to side here, if I really wrench on it, I can get the blade to flex, but I don't feel any movement in there where the lock and pivot is. And I'm noticing here that the top of this is slightly crowned. So we have jimping that runs into a crown, and then a nice little flat that goes to the tip. So that is a nice little aesthetic there. I think we're going to start seeing that a lot more often. That crowning of the spine, we're starting to see that. It used to be on very premium knives, certain companies, but now we're starting to see that a lot everywhere, whether it's budget knives, this company, that company. We're really starting to see the crowning being done on all price points, which is awesome. It's not something I need to have, but it is a nice touch in a lot of occasions. And, you know, it's not a need thing, but it does look good. It does feel good. And in this case, nice little strip of crowning and into the flat and back into the jimping this way. Love that this has a full finger choil here so we can choke up behind the edge here. And now that this one has come out and come in, we're going to do a regrouping of all the Pyrites, because to my knowledge, unless there is a mini, which we can kind of forego that one, we'll do kind of a group video for, you know, maybe the people who are new to the knife world, or they're just new to CJRB and their button locks and the Pyrite series. We'll go through and touch on each one and kind of show a little bit about each one, because there are quite a few at this point. And this is going to be just another solid button lock from CJRB. We'll do one more. Great job, great job. Can't ask for much more. And I'm going to guess these are going to come in right around $50, guys. Like I said, this is just an unboxing, not a review, not an overview, not a disassembly. This is an unboxing. So that means I basically have no clue. Sometimes I have a guess on what's coming. Sometimes I'm told what's coming, but I forget what is coming from which company. In this case, I was able to remember and kind of figure it out before unboxing it. But in a lot of cases, I don't even know which knife it is I'm unboxing until, you know, I turn on the video and we open it, or right before the video, and that doesn't give me any time to look anything up on the knife. And I don't like doing that to begin with. I like to give my ideas, opinions, and speculations on the knife without seeing anything else from anyone else and any information online. That way, if I'm guessing this is $50 and it's 65, you know, then, you know, we can, in the overview, kind of touch back on some of the things that I talk about in the unboxing, and we can go over some final things in the overview / review that we do on the knife, and kind of come to some conclusions. This is just a first impressions on this knife. A lot of people get that misconstrued, you know, and that's why I try to remember to put in the title unboxing. I'm not reviewing this knife. I'm just trying to show you guys what I think about the knife upon first impressions, show you how it carries, how it cuts. Is the lock going to hold up? It's kind of a review, just a first impression, quick review of the knife and how it is doing out of the box. It's not an actual review of the knife though. So just for the people who, you know, and I love when people say, hey, great review, but it was an unboxing. I don't mind that at all. It's just, I want to make that clear, because some people will say, well, you didn't give the price, or you didn't do that, or you didn't do this. And it's like, well, dude, this is an unboxing. I put it in the title. I said it 7 times throughout the video. So it's not anything towards people who are gracious in their comments and being very nice and so on. It's for the people who are, you know, very rude in their comments, and that's always going to happen. But don't put a comment about something that has to do with a review in the unboxing. It doesn't make sense. So just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, I think CJRB has a nice little solid offering, especially if this is going to come in at a very fair price. I know I've had quite a few people already tell me, whether it was in a comment or some way or another, that they went and picked one of these up. So I know that there are people definitely interested in this knife. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of CJRB and them heading this way with the Pyrite series? Let me know what your favorite Pyrite is out of all of them as well, if you have one. And let me know what you want to see coming up from CJRB, because I think there's some things coming up the pipe from a couple different companies that are going to kind of shock some people. I'm not going to give any secrets away right now, but there are some things coming up from various companies that look really interesting and are very cool. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're new here. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I'd love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.